If someone brings something hard to us, and instead of listening to understand, we instantly say, well, let me explain to you why I said that or did that. Instantly, we're swatting it away. That defensiveness is so unsafe. Guaranteed that person will not come back again to risk and share.
One of the things that you said to me in a conversation that I can't stop thinking about is, do we even realize that we might not be a safe person? When you said that to me, there's an awareness factor, right? I need to stop and consider, and do I realize that I may not be a safe person sometimes? Do you sometimes feel lost in your relationships, your identity, or even your spirituality? Welcome to Gilmore Green, where healing and hope meet.
So today, we're talking about the question, am I a safe person? And really, the idea that emotional safety for someone else is a gift. But people might hear safety. What do you mean? Emotional safety. What does that mean, actually? Well, I'm Dr. Debi Gilmore, a marriage and family therapist. And we're excited today to talk about this gift of emotional safety.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited to hear what you have to say about it, Debi, and talk about actually something I feel really strongly about. And one of the things that you said to me in a conversation that I can't stop thinking about is, do we even realize that we might not be a safe person? When you said that to me, there's an awareness factor, right? We get into habits so quickly, it happens so fastly. So even just your comment about that has made me think, yeah, I need to stop and consider, and do I realize that I may not be a safe person sometimes?
Well, as humans, we do feel discomfort when someone's in pain, and we want to quickly rescue instead of allowing them to be in pain. We want to take it away. But as a marriage and family therapist, Sharilyn, in your work and in my work, we're often teaching clients how to do relationships better. And the first and foremost thing is when their partner's in pain, how do you handle that? What's the step number one? It's not to fix it. It's to address the pain. Just as if someone went through the doors of the ER, the doctor first says, okay, where's the bleeding? Let's stop it. The bleeding and the pain regulation, got to get on top of that pain or it will be chronic, right?
And as you're talking, there's actually some skills to this, right? Some things that we can learn, some principles, I guess, about being a safe person. Like you just said, one of the great principles is not to fix things for people, but to slow down and say, I see you. I see your pain. That feels so comforting and safe when we can feel that from someone. So I love what you just said. It's true. It's so easy to jump to the fix, and we think that we're helping, and actually we're adding to their pain by not seeing them.
Yeah, I want to normalize this because anytime we hear someone had a loss, a death in the family, a major life-changing loss, we often don't know what to do about it. What do I say? I can bring them a casserole, I can send them flowers, but how do I talk to them? Well, what people don't understand is it's so simple. I am so sad that you're hurting so deeply. That's a really powerful thing to be able to say. And maybe, Sherilyn, one of the first things we want to establish is what do we want to be for that person? Well, basically, it's like a safe haven. We want to be a secure place for them to land. And if that's true, then our stand initially needs to be, I see your pain. I'm here for you.
Love that. So I have a question for you. So tell me what it feels like to you to think about certain relationships in your life. And if you say to yourself, wow, I feel safe there, or I don't, and what that's like for you, the difference in that.
And I can easily answer that because I can think of specific individuals in my life that do it for me regularly. I'll bring a complicated issue or something that I'm really struggling with and share it and then move on. And these particular people will say, now hang on, I want to understand how hard that is for you right now. And I'm thinking, oh, wait, you should have been a therapist because that's what we do. We slow people down. We say, before we move to anything else, I just want to know what that's like for you. For me, That's a safe person. That's a tender, a precious gift that they give me.
Yeah, I love that. And I'm thinking about how often I don't think to do that. I want to think for myself, as I consider relationships in my life, there's this feeling of you're not afraid. You don't have to measure or I don't know, manage things. You can just be, maybe you can be yourself. It's safe to be yourself with them. You know that they're going to accept you, they're going to trust you, they're going to validate you. I don't know. I'm just thinking carefully about what it feels like to be with someone who's safe. And then, more importantly, do I offer that for people?
Well, and you do actually. I want to just point that out. You're one of those that I thought about when I was describing this merciful state of no, slow down and tell me, help me understand. But how often do we come across people that say, oh, I shouldn't feel this way? I should get over this. This is stupid. But, what does it sound like when you are a safe person? You say, but wait, your pain makes sense to me. It makes sense to me that you're so angry. You should be angry. That's hard. Or there's this other thing that I love, and to hear someone say, I'm not going to leave you because I know this is hard for you right now. I want to be with you in this storm. That's incredible. It takes a lot of courage for someone to do that. The perception of humans would be, well, that's not nice to say to someone, you can be in pain, go ahead and sit in it. But we know, you and I, Sherilyn, I know you know this. What you do with your clients is you say, if if I can sit with you in your pain, you most likely won't have to visit it later. It won't come back because we have walked through it together. Does that make sense?
Love that. And I know that too, that then it doesn't come back. It's because you've been able to sit with someone in it. That makes all the difference. And what a gift that is to offer people. I mean, it's such a gift, right? And it's in some ways a rare gift. As you described this to me, there is a little bit of a rarity to it because as humans, we are so quick to defend or to fix or to draw conclusions too soon. I don't know. It isn't natural for us to sit like you're talking about
Mhm.
with their pain and the ways that you're describing.
I wanted to ask you this question. Actually, you brought this up earlier. We need to do a self assessment. We need to know, am I a safe person? And there's some specific things that we can look at to do that self assessment. I'm wondering what's something that you might do to check yourself, Sherilyn?
I think slowing myself down so that when someone comes to me, I'm in a regulated place. They can feel that. They can feel that I'm regulated and present. And that comes with eye contact. That comes with tone. That comes with questions that are curious about them. Um, yeah, those are some of the things maybe that come to mind. How about you?
So, am I approachable, basically, is what you're saying? Or, the thing that I know that humans do a lot, as you and I teach listening skills, often we don't listen to understand. We don't listen to really get a deeper understanding of the other person's experience. Instead, we're formulating our comeback. We're formulating, oh, you too? Here, let me share with you what happened for me. So for me, it has to be a question, do I listen to really understand their perspective? The second thing is, am I willing to hear hard things and make it safe for that person to come to me about something hard? That's a really important, humble self assessment.
Yeah, and as you say that, even maybe the hard experiences in life minister to our ability to do that. When we ourselves understand the complexities of life, I think we're more able to sit with some of the hard things. I don't know. I'm just thinking through what you're saying because it is beautiful when when someone, yeah, we're not afraid to tell someone something that's complex or hard. We know that they'll hold it for us.
Yeah, and wouldn't you want to have that reputation where people say, "Oh, I know I can go to Sherilyn because she's so safe." What a great legacy you're leaving. But then, maybe let's talk for just a minute about what it looks like or feels like to be unsafe. There are those little traits that of defensiveness where we want to turn the blame back on someone else because we're so uncomfortable. If someone brings something hard to us, and instead of listening to understand, we instantly say, well, let me explain to you why I said that or did that. Instantly, we're swatting it away. We're saying, oh, what you felt or what happened doesn't matter. I just want to take it away by telling you why I did or said what I did. That defensiveness is so unsafe. Guaranteed that person will not come back again to risk and share.
Yeah, you bring up an important word. It's a risk for all of us, right? That's what we're doing is risking our hearts with people. And then we start finding out based on reactions who we can trust and who we can't trust. I just like that word risk. It is.
Yeah, you said risk our heart. We're really talking about our hearts, aren't we, in this? And all humans have aching hearts at some point. And maybe it's once a week we have that. We always have disappointment. So if we approach other humans thinking, well, we all need to risk. And if we risk, it sends the message, you matter, that risk. Um, there's another thing that I notice. I tend to do this, and I'm trying so hard not to, is interrupting someone when they bring something difficult or they're talking about their pain. And if we stop them before they're done, that interruption sends them the message their pain doesn't matter or it's less important.
Yeah, that's a good one too. It's so easy to interrupt because, like you said, we're thinking about what's on our mind, what we want to say. And so, yeah, that's what I like, kind of steadying yourself before conversations to get yourself into a place where all of these principles can be present with you and aware of so that you can go into conversations with people and practice this, right? I love the idea that we can practice things like this and get better at it when we understand the principles, the skills that it takes. It's so fun to be able to practice that then in all the interactions that we have in a day. You're actually getting me excited.
Yeah, well, I always am looking for ways to improve myself, but it doesn't mean I'm excited about it. It's hard, but we really what we want to do is simplify this and normalize it and say most humans are not really good at this, but what we want to do is just give you some easy ideas of ways that you can enhance your relationships and your ability to demonstrate compassion for others. So you said just a minute ago, we want to steady ourselves. I love that word. When you say steady ourselves and be prepared at the beginning of every day, if someone comes to me, and actually mine isn't if someone comes to me, mine is I hope someone will come to me. I hope someone will want to come to me with their pain and that I can be there and make it memorable for them so that they know they can come back.
I'm thinking, as therapists, we do this. We kind of do steady ourselves at the beginning of a session, right? I prepare to sit with someone I'm just thinking about that idea of, steadying yourself. We do that professionally, but yeah, how am I carrying that into my personal life to steady myself in those same ways, to show up in those same beautiful ways that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's one other thing. Well, not one other, there's so many, but holding confidences for someone that comes to us. I think that's important too, to consider that sacred information. They're bringing this to you, they're trusting you to hold it in confidence. And so to be able to reassure someone, and that's another way of being safe to be able to say, what you're bringing to me, just so you know, this is between you and me. It will go nowhere. And you can bring it back to me. We can talk about it again, but no one else is going to know about this. And that's a precious gift we give someone. In our profession, That's a given that we're going to hold secrets for others, that this is sacred information. But can we do that in friendships? Can we cultivate that as something we always do?
And I know friends that I trust with my life because they do that, and time has proven again and again and again that they keep their word on that. And it is such a gift to be able to go and say, I need to talk about something that I know will stay between you and I. That's such a gift.
Yeah. Now, as we wrap this up, I just want to say again that emotional safety, hopefully, we've clarified what that means. It is one of the greatest gifts we can offer someone who matters to us, any other human being. It's a feeling that our heart can be known, that we can risk our pain, bring it to someone, and know they'll hold it with us, and that we can leave feeling lighter and safer.
Yeah, I love the idea of the phrase they can unburden their hearts, right? We help people unburden their hearts when we can be safe for them like that. That's again such a gift. Well, I'm loving that we've talked about this, Debbie. I especially value your thoughts on this because I've watched you over the years and the way that you show up for people safely. All of these principles that you've talked about, I've seen you do, and it's been a privilege to sit here with you, someone I admire in this area and listen to your thoughts. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Sherilyn. You know that I was talking about you earlier when I mentioned what safe people do for me. And I've learned from you that, just to sit and listen, not interrupt, and to encourage. Now, hold on, don't move on. I really want to know more about what that was like for you. So here we come to our therefore what. My therefore what is to do a little better, to slow down, to be willing to pause, and to encourage, is there more you want to tell me? To be more compassionate and to hold that space with someone, maybe even more explicitly say, just so you know, this means so much to me that you would bring this to me. Your feelings matter. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm probably going to copy you a little bit because you just said that so well. But I go back to what you said in the beginning that do we realize whether we're a safe person or not? Sometimes we don't stop long enough to ask ourselves that question. And so I guess my therefore what is to slow down and just take a little bit of time and analyze and say to myself, yeah, how does this really show up? I may not be thinking about that enough. So all of the things that we've talked about, I want to slow down and consider myself. And I love again the word of steadying ourselves so that we're in a good place for people to come to us with all of these principles. So thank you, Debbie.
Well, thank you so much for listening today. We hope you'll continue to follow us.
Take care, everyone.